Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles, and on this episode we're reviewing NXT No Mercy from 2023. If you haven't seen any of my videos before, I do rate everything on a 1 to 5 scale. 1 is the worst, 5 is the best. Let's jump right in with the one match from the pre-show. We get Kalani Jordan going up against Blair Davenport. I thought this was a really fun match, a really good one to put on the pre-show. Jordan looked exceptionally well in a match that pretty much you knew from the beginning she wasn't going to win. A lot of her skills showed in the match. Davenport looked fantastic, as she always does. Davenport did pick up the win. Afterwards, she was attacked by Gigi Dolan, which is obviously leading into a match which they announced later on in the show. I thought this was good. It was fun. A nice way to start the show. A nice way to get people who were just watching the pre-show to maybe tune in. Although, at this point, I don't know if you're watching the pre-show if you're not planning on tuning in. It's not like the old days where they had to put on the 30-minute pre-show to entice you to buy the pay-per-view. Everybody that's watching the pre-shows pretty much already watching it on Peacock or WWE Network, whatever you have it on. But I digress. I'm giving that one a 3. I thought it was pretty good. Then we go right into the main show. With the first match of the main show, we have Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. Braun comes out with a cool looking wolf type headdress on his head. Corbin comes out on a bike, and by bike I mean motorcycle, because we'll see bikes come into this a little bit later. They start this off really hot. I really enjoyed this. This was two badass wrestlers just going out there and fighting with each other. This was a fun match. You had Braun Breaker, who's obviously a star in the making, and Baron Corbin, who I think is highly underrated. He's a guy who's time and time again taken whatever they've given to him and made gold out of it. This was a really, really fun match. At the end, we get Mr. Stone comes out and kind of dives at Braun Breaker, which catches him and then throws him out into a bunch of people, thus leaving it open for Corbin to hit the End of Days, which he picks up the win here. I like the fact that the End of Days is pretty protected. I can't really think of the last person, if anybody, ever kicked out of it. If you know, leave it down here in the comments. I think 1 or 2 people, I can't remember off the top of my head exactly who they were. I'm giving this one a 4. I thought it was really fun. Next up, we have a North American Championship match. Dominic Mysterio defending against Trick Williams. This is another match I really enjoyed. I'm a big fan of Trick. I think he's going to be a big star in the WWE. Dom is amazing. He's already there. He's already probably the best heel in the company and maybe the best heel in wrestling. They also had Dragon Lee as the third man in the ring, the referee. This is a fun back and forth match. I didn't like the couple different ref bumps. It felt a little bit cheap because obviously you knew it was going to happen. Ultimately, Trick Williams does pick up the win here. I'm a little bit shocked with this. Not that Trick doesn't deserve it, but the fact that they've taken this belt off of Mysterio. This is absolutely a fun match. I'm giving this one a 4 too. I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have a fatal 4-way tag team match for the tag team championship. We have Tony D'Angelo and Channing Stacks Tatum going up against the Creed brothers, Julius and Brutus, going up against Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, and then going up against Bronco Nina and Lucien Price, also known as OTM Out the Mud, which my cousin John thinks is a terrible name. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a pretty good name. I like it. It kind of explains who they are and where they've come from. Basically started from the bottom. Now they're here, to quote Drake. I like this match. The more I see of these 3-man, 4-man, 4-tag team, 4-3 tag team, multi-team, multi-man matches, the less I like them because they start to feel really formulaic and you really see the same kind of setups. Even if it's different moves and different people in it, it's kind of the same formula that goes for all of them. I dislike the fact that people disappear for long periods of the time. This was a good match. It's not bad. It just felt like maybe I'm tired of seeing multi-person matches. Maybe we need to dial it back a bit, make them more special again. Ultimately, the family wins, Tony D and Stacks. I'm giving this one a 3. I thought it was good. Like I said though, I'm tiring out on multi-person matches, and we basically get them on every show, every pay-per-view. They're all over the place. Next up, we have a Heritage Cup match. We have Noam Dar defending against Butch. Butch has with him Tyler Bate. Dar has with him the rest of Metaphor. I really enjoy Metaphor, and I like what Dar is doing with them. I think he's really showing some signs of being a top-notch, top-level heel with the cockiness, the back up the two beautiful women there. I really enjoyed this. Dar comes out the gates with the first win, kind of cheaply. Butch fights back, gets the second win. Now we're down to the third. During the third win, we see Mensa get involved, we see Bate get involved, ultimately costing Dar the match, or costing Butch the match when Dar picks up the win on the third and deciding fall. I like this, and much like I said earlier, you started to feel a little bit there's too much going with interference, first with Mr. Stone in the first match, the ref bumps in the second match, and then here you get a lot of interference, a lot of shenanigans. I didn't think it took away from the match so much. It just started to feel like, how much more of this can we do? Dar did pick up the win. I'm giving this one a 4. I thought it was really good. Next up for the NXT Championship, we have Carmelo Hayes defending against Ilya Dragunov. I was really looking forward to this. I loved their match a few months ago that they had. I think it's one of the best matches of the year so far. And this was almost as good. I liked the first match a little better. This one was good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not totally crapping on this match. I thought it was really good. These are two guys I like a lot. I love Ilya Dragunov. I think Carmelo Hayes is a guy that's going to be a main eventer of WrestleManias, multiple WrestleManias, and could be, in my opinion, this generation's Shawn Michaels type character, that kind of talent. He's that good. I thought this was really fun. I was a little bit shocked that Dragunov did pick up the win in this, because not that I dislike Dragunov or I don't think Dragunov should be champion. He absolutely should. He's a great wrestler. But I feel like Carmelo's the face of the company at this point, or at least the face of NXT. I'm thinking to myself, that Carmelo may be called up pretty soon, especially with the somewhat tension that they're putting with him and Trick Williams. Maybe there's something there. Maybe I'm just reading into it a bit. I'd love to see him get called up, because the quicker he gets called up, the quicker we're going to see him rise to the top. I really enjoyed this match. This is my favorite match of the night. I'm giving it a 5. Next, we see Tegan Knox in the crowd, which is always awesome to see her. She's a fantastic wrestler. It's announced that she's going to fight the winner of the main event on Monday Night Raw, which leads us right into the main event. We have Becky Lynch defending the NXT Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match. And a lot of the question I had and a lot of people had coming into this is, how extreme is Tiffany Stratton going to be? How extreme are they going to allow her to be? A lot of the questions around that are based around her looks. She looks like the quintessential Barbie, which is what they play up with. Even her name when she comes out is written in the font of Barbie. I was pleasantly surprised, not that I haven't been a fan of her work up till now, but I was pleasantly surprised that she could adapt to this style of a match, and it proves that she's going to have what it takes to make it on the main roster, where you are going to be thrown in these situations, you are going to be thrown into cage matches, Extreme Rules matches, table matches, whatever it may be, you have to take what they throw at you. So I think it was really good to put her in this capacity. Becky Lynch is one of the best wrestlers in the world right now, so there's no better wrestler for her to be in there with. This is a really fun match. A little bit surprised again that Becky Lynch picked up the win with this, although I kind of felt as soon as they showed Tegan Knox in the crowd, we knew that Becky Lynch was going to win. But still, it still was a really good match. I'm giving this one a 4. I thought it was really good. Overall, I thought this show was pretty good from the beginning to the end. Like I said, there was a little bit too much interference in a couple matches. I don't mind it so much, but when it's over and over again, it starts to be like, okay. It kind of feels in the worst way like WCW at the very end when they had interference in pretty much every single match. There's a lot of great athleticism on the show. A lot of great stars here, stars in the making with Braun and Carmelo. Obviously, they're going to be major stars, and I just realized LeBron James and Carmelo Anthony came in the NBA in the same draft, and we're talking about Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes, kind of Braun and Mello again. After all this time, I finally realized that it just hit me right now. As well as some other future stars like Trick Williams. Well, bigger stars. They're already stars, but bigger than they are. The Creed brothers, I think, are going to be a very good tag team for a very long time. Butch and Noam Dar look amazing. Ilya is Ilya, he's amazing. The sprinkling in of the main roster talent like Becky Lynch, Baron Corbin, Dominic Mysterio kind of helps get some of those eyes from the main roster to start watching NXT. Maybe they'll convert into people that'll tune in every Tuesday night. I thought this was a really fun show. I'm gonna give it a 4. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it for the most part. There was way more that I liked than I didn't like. And you may hear a little bit of the criticism I've had in here, and usually that's just nitpicky stuff. There wasn't anything that really took my total enjoyment away here. I really did like this. I thought it was really fun. Now, if you made it here to the end, let's smash that like button, share the video, subscribe if you haven't. If you see where it says join, that's how you become a channel member. Becoming a channel member definitely helps me out. If you made it here to the end, let me know in the comments. I disagreed with my cousin John a little bit about OTM Out the Mud. He doesn't like the name. I think it's a good name. Let me know what you think. Do you like Out the Mud as a name? Do you think it fits the tag team that it's with or the group that it's with, including Scripps? Do you think it's a bad name altogether? Do you think they could do something better? Does the name not fit them? Let me know your opinion of OTM in the comments. I know John reads some of my comments, so maybe he'll see if they agree with me or him. And if you agree with him, that's fine. I have no problem with that. Just let me know down here. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and this has been my review of NXT No Mercy.